After all, he has Dolores for that. But there is one place where my parents are in certainly perfect harmony, and that is, as Wally mentioned, the dance floor, dancing polkas. They are well known for their Polish hopping from here to Scottsdale. And that place, that activity has been a bond for all the years. They love doing it, and they love doing it with each other. They are in harmony out there. And but it also restores a certain harmony to their relationship in general, because that is the one place where my dad leads and my mom follows. And she doesn't complain about it. Generally speaking, my mother is famous for her overall productivity and continuous activity. Never, never, never stops moving until the moment her head hits the pillow, and then it's over. And then she wakes up the next morning and starts all over again. Many of her activities have already been mentioned. All the cooking, the baking, the making of the Christmas cards with those hand drawings on the card every year. My dad does the message inside, in case you didn't know that, and I always find it very touching. Wood refinishing, stained glass, gardening, upholstering furniture, knitting. There's no end to the activities. Sleep for my mother is just an annoying obstacle that gets in the way of getting more stuff done. I think to this day, the nurses where she gave birth to me are still talking about how she was literally knitting booties while she gave birth. And she's like, hey, after you get done cutting that cord, could I use those scissors? That's my favorite one. That's just much. Once the kids were born, her life became all about the kids, much to my father's chagrin, but much to our benefit in so many ways. And for things as a parent, are not always smooth sailing. They're not easy. But I'd say for a while there at the outset for my mom, things went perfectly smoothly for a few years. In fact, actually it was 3 years to be exact, because that's when I was born. And my coming into my mom's life was sort of like Hitler's invasion of Poland. Sooner than anyone expected, and with rather disastrous results. So my mom's approach to parenting was not to be terribly controlling. Just a lot of communication, a lot of inquiry, curiosity, inquisitiveness. She would just like to ask questions, such questions like, "You're wearing that?" Or, "Where do you think you're going? What were you thinking?" I realized that any question that comes up or starts out with, "What in the Sam heck?" is probably not a question I'm going to want to answer. So watch out for that one. Being a mom is when you love your kids a lot, and she very, very much does, is going to involve a lot of worrying, and I certainly put her through plenty of that. Especially times when it would get dark at night. I was supposed to be home, I'm not home, I'm late. And so when I finally did get home, my mother would, at some point along the line, and then continued to remind me of a certain statistic you may not all be aware of. Did you know that in cases such as that, the child 90% of the time or more ends up face down in a ditch with a knife in his back? Apparently, because that's what she told me she thought had happened every single time. Am I making that up, or is that pretty accurate? See, there are a few nuggets of truth in this. Field, yeah. My mom probably wouldn't have been worried so much if she had really appreciated some of my many talents that I think went under-recognized. For instance, I was quite an expert at pool hopping. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that term, where you go around to neighbors' pools and you just jump in and swim at night when they can't see you. And you try to be quiet, but you're kids, and so you're not. And then every once in a while you have a crazy homeowner who actually comes out and pulls a gun on you to get you out of their pool. I swear that happened. And understandably, that was a little worrisome, wasn't it? Yeah. How did you find out about that? Did I just tell you, or did he walk us home with the gun?
No, I don't remember.
I must have actually told you. I was also pretty darn good with the garden raiding. I don't know why I did it. It was the only time I would actually voluntarily touch a vegetable the whole time growing up, I think. Pelting cars and buses with snowballs, I got to be very good at that. FYI, do not hit a jacked up muscle car like a Camaro full of 18-year-olds when you're 14 and it's there heavy snow and you can't run very fast. All right, so I think she would have appreciated, or she should have appreciated those talents of mine, and unfortunately, she just didn't know about them, I guess, because I didn't give her much of an opportunity. Okay, but there are some things that I did that I'm not proud of that she had to be a witness to, like the famous family story on Donna's Communion Day, where we got in a little bit of some kind of a disagreement, and I ended up punching poor Donna in the stomach.
I probably egged you on. But it was
Well, one minute she's cute and happy and bouncing around at a little communion party and cuter than could be, and the next minute she's crying inconsolably. And I'm sure it was heartbreaking for my mom to have to deal with, and so I wanted to say to Donna, my beloved sister, I want to take this opportunity to say I'm sorry, but you had it covered. But I was not always that difficult as a kid. I did have long stretches of time where I didn't do anything to upset my mother, like while I was sleeping. Oh, I forgot about the bedwetting. Never mind. Never mind that. But so growing up, my mother was nice enough to provide me with the service of telling me on occasion what I was doing wrong so I could learn. But now that I'm 53, over the years, lots has transpired, and our relationship is transformed. Now I tell her what she's doing wrong. Isn't that my job now? No, my mom has imparted many nuggets of wisdom that I do appreciate and value. She would like to tell me to follow the teachings of Jesus, particularly the honor thy father and mother one. Live each day as if it was your last has come up, but more specifically with my mom, I think it was spend each dollar as if it's your last. She told me to be relaxed. I could be relaxed, just be myself, as long as I'm doing what she says. Okay, these are kind of like true, and then there's a part of them that I'm making a little fun of. Another one is what matters most in life is free. Luckily, family, love, and toothpaste at Walgreens when it's on sale and you have a coupon. She taught me you can't change anybody who doesn't want to change, but don't let that stop you from trying. There is no problem, I discovered ultimately, that cannot be solved over a cup of coffee and a ham sandwich, or even better, a tchotchke sandwich for any of those. Anybody? Tchotchkes, anybody? Yeah. Cubes of fat, deep fried, until they're golden brown. Ham fat. See, it's ham fat. We were talking about this the other day. Nothing better. My mom, actually, this is completely true. She is very big on gratefulness. Every day, every night, she gives thanks, talks to God, gives thanks for all that she has. And so I've learned to try to practice that, to be grateful for all that you have, and also to never throw anything away. So it's often through adversity and failure that we really learn to grow, and that's actually something she learned raising me more than I learned from her. Finally, my mom, I want to just emphasize how she really, in all sincerity, does embody a certain spirit. When I'm around my mom, she's often silly, goofy. She has these exaggerated gestures that we all get a kick out of, and a great sense of humor. And at the heart of it all, a real strong element of just giving and caring. It's such a common, such a prevailing baseline around with my mother for those of us in the family, that it almost can go unnoticed or unfully appreciated how much she cares and how much her support is automatic.